your number one source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
Hello and welcome to Rip-U Stadium this afternoon. It's a middle school matchup between your Girard Middle School Rebels and the Belverlye Middle School Wildcats. We have an onside kick, and it rolls to the 45-yard line, and it's covered by the Rebels. Looks like number 60, and that's going to be Hunter Ham. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Girard at the Belverlye 45. I'm Bobby Price, along with my cameraman this afternoon, Mitt Kirkland, and we do middle school football for you here. And then, of course, the area high school football games on Thursday and Friday nights, and then play them back on your local origination channel. Trying to get the football in to place it down so we can start. Girard is already set to go. And back at quarterback is number 22, Devontae Taylor, as Girard tries a new look from the previous two times we've covered the Rebels in their attack. Shotgun formation, bad snap over the head of the quarterback, movement, and there's going to be a dead ball foul, and we'll see who it's against as the officials come in to talk it over. Dead ball, the illegal procedure, so that'll go against the Rebels, back them up 5 yards. So they'll be 1st and 15 from midfield at 50-yard line. Oh, well, it's illegal procedure against Belverlye Middle, so it's got to be 1st and 5 for the Rebels of Rehoboth from Girard Middle, the Rebels of Girard Middle School. We're in the early going, just one play, and that's the kickoff. 7 seconds have escaped from this first period of play. A little confusion in the backfield. And a handoff to the second man through, which is number 40, and that's 48, Willie Gilmore, and maybe a yard. So we're going to call it 2nd down and 4 for the first, but it's going to be more like 5. The clock is rolling, under 7.5 minutes. Your quarterback is number 22, Devontae Taylor. We have number 48 deep, that's in the backfield, is Willie Gilmore, along with 46, Brian Butler. The keeper is from the quarterback, number 22. He's going to cross the 35 to the 34-yard line on a penalty play. So that'll stop the clock at 7:05 in the first as the officials discuss the call. And they're still discussing. Asking for the captain of Belverlye Middle to come up. So apparently he's going to go against the Rebels. And we have to apologize for the shade upon the field, the sun setting over here behind us. It is going to be a little difficult to see at times, especially when we're on the north end of the field. This is a major distance penalty against Girard. The call is a personal foul, and it's going to back them to the 49. Which is going to continue at 2nd down. And it looks like 15 yards to go for the first. Well, the flag went across the way. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Second and 15 as the Rebels break the huddle, come to the line of scrimmage. Man in motion here on the near side. 2 flankers on the near side. Back to quarterback. It's a snap. It's a quarterback keeper again. He turns a 50. But, man, when he hits the 49-yard line, number 44 for Belverlye Middle was there, and that's Raheem Rousseau, an 8th grader, and he nailed him for no gain. Might give him the length of a football as far as a gain, so that's 3rd and 14 and 2/3 yards. 6:25 as the clock continues to roll, and Girard wants to talk about it on this 3rd down play. Here's the situation. It's 3rd and about 14 and 2/3 yards for the 1st down. We have 86 in motion, and it's snapped back to number 48. He takes it, tries to turn the corner to the 50, but there is a Wildcat jersey there. Looks like number 12, and that's Jeremy Buckley. And he puts number 48, Willie Gilmore, to the ground after he picks up about 3 yards. So it's going to be 4th down and 11 for the 1st. So back in punt formation will be number 81, Ryan Mullins, for the Rebels. Nobody deep for Belverlye Middle. Here's the snap. It's low. It bounces, but he does get it off. And it's a nice spirally kick that hits at the 24 and rolls down to about the 11-yard line, where it's going to be down by number 22, Devontae Taylor, the quarterback for Girard. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats from Belverlye Middle School. And we'll see what they can do on this series of downs. This will be their first opportunity with the ball, as Girard kept it for about 3.5 minutes of that 1st quarter. And really and truly, they only, well, the penalties hurt bad, but I think they ran maybe 4 or 5 plays and netted probably 2 or 3 yards. So their series didn't work. We'll see what the Wildcats do with this one. Nice warm fall afternoon here at Rip Stadium. Right up the gut goes number 23 for Belverlye Middle School, Chris Carroll. And he crosses the 15 to the 16-yard line. So he picks up about 5. So 2nd and 5 from the 16-yard line for Belverlye Middle School. And of course, Belverlye Middle School is in the yellow jerseys, the Rebels in the blue. Only one man in the backfield, along with the quarterback, Colin Bennett. And it's a handoff to him, and he's going to be nailed at the line of scrimmage by a host of Rebel players. On the bottom there was number 60, Hunter Ham. So there's no gain, brings up a 3rd down. 3rd and 5 from the, well, they're going to show a loss of yardage here. He was at the 16, so they mark it just inside the 15. So it's about a loss of almost 2 yards on the play. 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7 for your quarterback, Bennett, number 11. 23 in the backfield, Chris Carroll. Bennett takes a snap, fakes a handoff to Carroll. He looks, and he is going to be tackled at about the 2-yard line by number 50 for Girard Middle, and that is Corey Kavanaugh. And he's going to be put down on the 2-yard line. So the defense really stiffens here, and not much doing for the Wildcats on their first series. So I guess you might say, as both offenses trying different schemes to get things going. Here's the kick from the end zone. Number 10 falls on it, the 45-yard line. It went through a player's arms about the 20, went past number 10 as he tried to pick it up, kept on rolling to the 45, and alertly, Cleckley just falls on it at the 45, where it'll be 1st and 10, still in Wildcat territory for the Rebels of Girard Middle. according to the schedule you have, this is the last meeting of these two teams this season. And the earlier meeting, Belverlye Middle won kind of handily. Bad snap from center, but it's handed off to number 46. He gets to the 45, 44, fumbles the ball, and it's going to be covered by number 52 for Belverlye Middle. That's going to be Legrand, a 7th grader, and he recovers that fumble after a pickup of a couple of yards. So one play, the offense turns it over, and the Wildcat defense contains the ball, and it's 1st and 10 Wildcats from their own 43-yard line. So the handoff and the keeper from number 48, Gilmore, for Girard spells disaster as they turn the ball over. Bennett takes a snap, fakes a handoff. He's back to pass. He's looking. He's got a host of players back there, and he's going to be nailed by number 50, Corey Kavanaugh, and he's going to be dropped about the 26-yard line. As Kavanaugh just, along with several of the blue jerseys, coming in there, and they were able to put him down at the 26-yard line. We're going to be 2nd, and that's going to make it 10, 20. It looks like about 22 yards for the first down. They got to get to the Rebel 46 for a first. And again, we apologize for the shadows here. I know it may be a little difficult to see things, but we'll try to keep you informed as best we can as we go. And as the sun sets, you'll get a little bit better picture. Man in motion, number 12, fakes a handoff. Second man through 23, crosses the 30, 35. Goes number 23 for the Wildcats. That is Chris Carroll, and he picks up some pretty good yardage as he gets out to the 36-yard line, where it'll bring up a 3rd down and about 16 for the first. Clock continuing to roll under 2-minute mark at a minute 46 to go in the first period. Still no score as we're just approaching the final minute of the first quarter play. Bennett takes a snap, flares out to number 12. He takes it across the 40, 45, gets up to about the 48-yard line, goes number 12, Jeremy Buckley, and he picks up more good yardage, but it does bring up a 4th down. It'll be 4th and about 5, maybe 6 yards for the first down. Limping off the field is Jeremy Buckley, favoring his left ankle. Here's the situation for Belverlye Middle. It's 4th and about 4 yards to go. Pass out to number 81. It's a flare. He crosses the 50, 45, falls at inside the 40-yard line to about the 39. First down for number 81, Reynolds. A nice little pass from number 11, Bennett, and they do convert and pick up the first down. They faced a second at about 26 and kept moving the ball, hung in there with it till they picked up the first down, and now the field position is going to go to the Wildcats even if they stall here. So they're just inside the Rebel 40-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Belverlye Middle. The quarterback is Bennett, number 11. One man split to the far side, 2 to the near. Hands off to number 23, crosses left guard, and he rambles for about 3 or 4 yards, is number 23, Chris Carroll, for the Wildcats. Some pretty good blocking up there from the linemen for the Wildcats on that particular play. They move the stick about 4 yards, so it'll be 2nd and about 6 for the first down. Still no score with 15 seconds left in the first quarter, as Girard has ran maybe 5 plays, and Belverlye Middle is working on about 10 plays. Man in motion, handoff to number 12, tries to turn the corner, to the 40, and he does not as he goes out of bounds, and he's going to lose back to about the 38-yard line is number 12, Buckley, as the time expires for the first quarter of play. Shaking up on that is number 10 for Girard, and that is Cleckley as he gets up slowly. But he is under his own power. As the officials talk things over, it's third down and about 11. As the time has expired for the first quarter of play. So at the end of one period, the score is 0 for Girard, 0 for Belverlye Middle.
Your number one source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
All right, we start the second period of play on a third and a long way. It's a double pass, and this is going to be number 81. He's going to catch it at the 15, and he's going to be tackled by number 80 just short of the goal line. It'll be first and goal from the 2, thanks to the saving tackle by C.J. Ellis for Girard. Nice pass from number 11 Bennett to number 12 Buckley, and then Buckley hits a wide open 81 Reynolds, and he takes it to the 2. So it's first and goal, Belverlye Middle, from the Girard 2-yard line. Center number 55 for Belverlye Middle School. That is Kerry Elmore. Here's the snap. Bennett takes it, calls his own number, puts it into the end zone for 6 points. So a 2-yard touchdown run from Bennett takes care of the scoreless first period. It makes it now 6-0 in the early going of the second period. All right, Buckley is set to go for 2 points. It's a double reverse. Number 81 and number 12 into the end zone for a 2-point conversion goes number 81 Reynolds for the 2-point conversion. So it is 8-0 with 7:23 to go at the end of I guess maybe 37 seconds into the second quarter. It's 8 points for Belverlye Middle School and 0 points for the Rebels of Girard Middle. All right, back at Rip Hughes Stadium, where the Belverlye Middle School has it by an 8-0 lead. The kickoff goes to number 10 at the 15-yard line. He crosses the 20, 25, and wrestles his way maybe to the 30-yard line. We'll see where the forward progress goes. That was from Christopher Cleckley, and he's going to bring it out to about the 30, where it'll be first and 10 for the Rebels of Girard Middle School, trailing this game now by a score of 8-0. 22, your quarterback, comes into the game. That is Devontae Taylor. As the play's called, and we got a couple of flankers way to the far side. Number 10 and number 26. We'll see if they're involved in the play. Here's the snaps, the handoff to number 24 as he tries to turn the corner, crosses the 30, cuts inside to the 35, and hits the ground. The ball falls out of his hands and quickly picked up by another blue jersey, and looks like he picks up another 4 yards. So a little razzle-dazzle there. I don't think the play was designed for that to take place, but I'm sure Girard will take all the yardage they can get as they pick up about 9 on that carry. It'll bring up a second and a long one. 6:28 to go in the second period, the first half of play. Number 22 changing the play. That is Taylor. Barks a signal, gets a snap, and a loose ball hits the ground, and I believe a yellow jersey comes up with it. We'll see what happens as they unpile. But number 24 for the blue team comes up with it, Foshi. So it's going to bring up third, and that's going to be a couple of yard loss. So it'll be 3rd and 3. So things just not working out very well for Girard on this particular series, as they're faced with a 3rd and 3. They had a 2nd and 1. Here's the snap over his head again, has to jump, flips it back to number 24, hits the ground, and gets a block, tries to turn the corner up to the 20, 22, 23, still fighting, and finally brought to the ground. There's a pile up at the 33-yard line, and looks like we're going to lose about another 5 or 6 yards on that play. So it's going to bring up a 4th down for the Rebels. Back to punt, number 81, Ryan Mullins. Back to receive is number 12, Buckley. He stands on his own 41-yard line. Here's the snap. It's a good one this time. And it's blocked. And flag is going to be hit as number 16 comes in pretty tough on Mullins, and I believe he's going to be hit for roughing the kicker. Thaddeus Underwood, looks like, but we'll see what the officials call. Wave off the flag. It'll be 1st and 10 Wildcats at the 25-yard line. As the punt was partially blocked, so the roughing the kicker penalty is waived off. It'll be 1st and 10 Wildcats deep in the Rebel territory at the 25-yard line, 1st and 10. 4.5 minutes to go in the first half. As Bennett comes back in at quarterback for the Wildcats. .55 Gary Elmore leads his charges up to the line. Shotgun formation this time for Bennett. Right beside him is number 23 Carroll. 3 split ends to the near side. A little bit of a delay here. Trying to get the play together. The official calls the ball in play. Here we go. Here's a snap. Back to look. Bennett throws. Number 12 is kind of open in the end zone, and it's in and out of his hands. Falls incomplete. Intended for Jeremy Buckley in the end zone. He was open, but defending was number 43 for Girard. That's 42 for Girard, Eric Major. And he had just enough hand motion in his face that Buckley could not pull it in. So it falls incomplete. Stops the clock at 4:22 in the half. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 25 of Girard. Same formation. Bennett, your quarterback, back to look. 42 is there and nails him, but he does get it off. So that pass falls incomplete, as number 11 Bennett really paid the price as he was tackled from behind. So it'll bring up 3rd and 10 from the 25. All right. Bennett trots back onto the field with the play from his coach. And they're set to go. 4:12 remaining in the first period. It's 8-0. Wildcats on top, trying to add to it. Same formation once again. And we're going to have a flag on the play as Bennett keeps around the 30-25. Still on his feet inside the 19-yard line before he steps out of bounds. But there is a flag on the play, and I do believe the Wildcats will be hit for illegal procedure. So we'll see if this was a dead ball foul, or if Girard can kind of pick and choose here and take the play, since they only picked up just a few yards. So the officials kind of talk it over with one another. Still talking as they continue to walk to the near side hash mark. It's going to be 4th and about, well, we'll call it almost 5 for the first down, as Girard is trying to defend this 4th down play. Almost identical setup. Buckley takes the snap. Bennett. He keeps it. 20, 15, 10. Gets to about the 8-yard line, and he's knocked out of bounds, but he does get enough to pick up the first down. So it'll be 1st and 10 Wildcats inside the 10-yard line. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 7, where it'll be 1st and goal from the 7 for Belverlye Middle School. .318 left in the first half of play. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. 3 men split here to the near side. Bennett comes up under center, takes the snap, hands off to 23, turns, gets inside the 10, inside the 5 to the hash mark, inside the hash mark to the 2, where it'll be 2nd and goal from just outside the 2-yard line. So we bring it to a 2nd and goal from just outside the 2. Clock rolling, under 2 minutes, 50 seconds to go in the half, as Bennett brings in the play. Out come number 45, Elmore. And we got 3 men split here to the near side, 14, 12, and 81. That's Adam White, Buckley, along with Reynolds. And some kind of busted play up the middle did not work. And we'll see where they're going to stop the forward progress to, as he's going to lose some yardage on that 3rd down play, moving it back to the 8-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and goal from the 8. Under 2 minutes in the half. Bennett takes his snap, looks, throws it out to number 12. He looks to try to get in the end zone, but he's going to be stopped for no gain, maybe a loss of a yard, is number 10, Christopher Clickley, for the men in blue. Back to the 10-yard line, so he loses a couple more yards on the play. It'll bring up 4th down with a minute 24 and the clock ticking in the first half. Looks like the Wildcats are going to go for it here on this 4th down call. We'll see if the Rebel defense can hold them one more time. Man in motion. And he's going to be dropped for a 5-yard loss by number 50 for Girard, and that is Corey Kavanaugh, who's played a great ball game here. And he's going to be dropped to the 15, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Girard with 51 seconds left in the half. We'll see what Girard can do, if they'll just be content with running the clock out here in the half, as they've had a tough time getting things going here offensively with fumbles, penalties. Back to pass is number 22. He's looking, he's running, turns the corner across 15, 20, and gets almost to the 25-yard line before he'll be upended at 37 seconds to go. So it'll be second down and short yardage for Girard with 34 seconds remaining in the first half of play. Here's the situation. It's 34 seconds left in the half. Girard is down by 8. Bad snap again. And it's a flip back to number 10, Cleckley. And he passes to number 22, crosses the 40 to the 42-yard line. And that's going to bring up a first down, momentarily stopping the clock with 21 seconds left in the half, as Girard is able to get it out to the 42-yard line in their own territory on a bit of a razzle-dazzle play. Well, they're going to give us forward progress to the 43. First and 10, starting the clock. So we're under 20 seconds, under 15, as Girard comes out with the ball. Precious seconds ticking off at the 5-second mark. This should wind up the play if they get it off, and they're not going to get it off. So the halftime score is going to be 8 for Belverlye Middle School, 0 for Girard Middle School.
Your number one source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network. Your number one source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
Back at Rippue Stadium, where we're set to start off the third period of play here. It's the Girard Middle School Rebels against the Belverlye Middle School Wildcats. And the Wildcats have the better half of it, leading by a score of 8-0, and they get the ball first. Here's the kick, and it's going to be fielded at the 20 by number 12, with a full head of steam, crosses 30, 35, and he's going to be bowled out of bounds about the 36-yard line. Well, they're going to mark his forward progress at the 40. At the 40-yard line, where to be 1st and 10 for Belverlye Middle School. Belverlye Middle School scored on about the 3rd play of the 2nd period on a 2-yard run. It was set up by a beautiful double pass. It's a lateral back from number 11 Bennett to number 12 Buckley, and then Buckley hit a wide open 81 Reynolds, and he carried it to the 2-yard line. Then Bennett scored on the next play, going for 2. Reynolds keeps it and makes it 8 points, and that's where we stand. First man through is number 23 for Belverlye Middle, and that is Chris Carroll, and he's going to be stopped at about a 7 or 8 yard pickup out to the 48-yard line. So we'll give him 8 on the play, 2nd and 2. Continuing at quarterback, number 11 Bennett. Lone man in the backfield is number 23 Carroll. Carroll gets the call again, crosses the 50. Down to the 45-yard line goes number 23, Chris Carroll. And he moves the chains, picks up the 1st down. So 2 quick runs off left guard by number 23, Carroll. And he picks up about 15 yards on both those plays. 1st and 10, Wildcats from the Rebel 45. Just under 7 minutes in the 3rd as we're just underway. 23 gets the call again. He barrels his way from the 45 down to about the 40. Pick up 4, maybe 5 yards on the play as they put it right on the 40, so we'll give him 5. So 2nd and 5. 3 quick runs at the middle by Carroll, and they're picking up good yardage, keeping it on the ground. Bennett under center, back, looks to throw, and it's intercepted by number 81, Ryan Mullins. And Mullins gets to the 35 before he's tackled out of bounds. And turnover by the Wildcats gives the Rebels some life as Ryan Mullins picked off that interception as it was a bit underthrown by quarterback Bennett for the Wildcats. 1st and 10, Girard from their own 35-yard line. Place the ball down. Coming back out at quarterback, number 22, Devontae Taylor for the men in blue. Shotgun formation. 22 takes the snap. It's a lateral back to number 10. He's going to cross the 35, 40, 45, 50, down to the 45, to the 40, cuts inside, and back outside to the 30, 25, 20, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, touchdown, number 10. That is Christopher Cleckley. And what a turnaround in this game. No flags on the field, and the 6 points is good. And that puts us at a score of 8-6. And only the point after touchdown, the difference in the game. And we'll see what Girard elects to do on this series. A gorgeous run from the 35 after he takes a lateral pass to about the 30. And he just turns the corner, full head of steams, and barrels all the way down to the end zone for 6 points. Here's the 2-point conversion coming. Taylor, quarterback. He looks. It's a high snap. Handoff to number 46. And he's going to get it into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Goes Brian Butler. And, folks, we're knotted up at 8 apiece here on that great run from number 10, Cleckley. And at 5:49 mark of the 3rd quarter, it's tied up 8-8. All right, back at Rippew Stadium, where it's now knotted up at 8 apiece and the Wildcats trying to decide who wants to pick up the ball and run with it. Finally, it's picked up by 44. He gets it at 35, and man, they're still moving bodies around down there, and looks like they're going to stop his forward progress at about the 32-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats as they put the ball in play. The Rebels take advantage of that interception by number 81, Ryan Mullins, and take it into the end zone, goes for 2 points, and ties it up at 5:34 in the third quarter. Wildcats split 3 men to the far side. 23 out the middle, and he's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. Well, holding on, trying to pull him down was 52, Wimbish, and they kept spinning and finally got out of his grasp. But by that time, and teammates had come over to help him out, and they stopped him for just a short gain, maybe a yard and a half on that play. 5:10 to go in the third period. It's going to be a 2nd and 9 as Bennett comes in with the play from the sidelines. Next play from scrimmage. Man in motion, fakes the handoff, gives it to 23. The ball is on the ground, and there's a scramble for it, but I believe the men in yellow do come up with it. So under 4.5 minutes to go. Clock continuing to roll, and we're tied at 8 apiece here for both these squads. Third and 10, back to pass is Bennett looks. He's going to try to get away from him, crosses the 30 to the 35 for 2 yards, and he's tripped up by number 10, Cleckley, and that saves a first down because he had some clear running space as Cleckley upended him and stops him for only like a 1-yard pickup. It'll bring up third down. Three and a half minutes. Fourth down, back to punt. Number 14 puts a foot into it. It's going to be fielded at the 42-yard line by number 10. And that is Cleckley, and he's going to get up to about he crosses the 50. And looks like he's going to bring it down to about the 48-yard line where they will put it 1st and 10 on the Wildcat side of the midfield stripe. It'll be 1st and 10. Girard now tied at 8 apiece. 3:14 left in the third quarter. Still remaining at quarterback, number 22, Devontae Taylor. As Girard splits 2 men to the near side. Here's the snap. Hands off to 24. Gets a little running room, crosses the 45. Falls forward to maybe the 42-yard line, where he picks up about 5.5 on that play. They're going to give him 6. 2nd and 4. All right, we're under 3 minutes in the third period as Girard continues to try to move the ball as they have tied this up at 8 points apiece. And what a kind of a weird snap there, but alertly the quarterback, number 22, Taylor, pulls it out of midair and tucked it in, tries to run with it, and he's going to be stopped for about a yard, maybe 2-yard loss. And that's going to bring it back to maybe a 3rd and 7. Okay, we got a guest up here with us right now, as this is one of our fine city commissioners who's been around for a couple of years, learning the ropes.
Absolutely.
And Commish, how things going?
Things are going well. Things are going real good. I like to come out to Repuse and watch a good ball game, and these two right here are duking it out tonight.
Yes, they have, and looks like Girard is going to do their best to take the lead here, and number 81 saves the day as number 10, Cleckley, is bowled out of bounds just inside the 10 at the 8. And great run from number 10, Cleckley, who scored the 6 points just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, he turned the corner. He just turned on the afterburners and went. He's done that all night. He's going to be good for either Northview or Dothan High here soon.
Well, I'm telling you, and it looks like these guys going both ways, and they're really fighting at it hard.
Absolutely.
Well, Commissioner Tidwell, how things going down at City Hall?
City Hall is going real well. I mean, we just got that tax increase done and look forward to doing a lot of things with it. I know it wasn't a real popular decision, but it was the right decision. I mean, every commission that voted for it really felt it was the best thing to do for the city, and we just hope that the people of Dothan believe in us and we can move forward and do what we said we were going to do.
Number 46 takes a bobble snap into the end zone. 46 is going to be Brian Butler, and Girard is taking the lead for the first time, and they lead it by a score of 14-8 with the extra point attempt coming up. I know that it was not a popular decision, but you have to admire you guys for standing on what you believe on. Did a whole lot of investigation and try to come up with a plan to make things for the future of the citizens of Dothan better. And I got to say hats off to you in your decision. And
well, thank you.
And we just move forward from it.
It is, and it's tough sitting down. Let's get this play over with.
All right, extra point attempt coming. High snap again. 22 keeps it. He's got some wide open green, and he's going to take it in untouched. Goes number 22, Devontae Taylor, and that's going to make the score 16-8 with Girard taking the first lead of the night.
Yeah, Girard has really improved over the whole season. I mean, my daughter cheers for Girard, and I mean, they have improved tremendously.
All right, back at Ripkew Stadium, where the score with 1:34 to go in the third is 16-8. Girard has taken their first lead of the night, and here's the kickoff, and it's going to be fielded by 81 at the 20. That's Reynolds. 25 jukes his way around, gets a little running room across the 30, 35, 40, and tries to cut back inside, and he is tackled down by number 87 for the men in blue, and stops him around they give his forward progress to about the 44.5-yard line. That was a pretty good little play there for the Wildcats to get some good field position, as they've moved the ball quite well tonight. Just the Girard defense is stiffened, and the offense have turned on some fire, and they trying to smell out a victory. I know you said your daughter cheered for Girard, and I've seen your wife at a few of these games, and I'm sure you've been to those that you can. And you mentioned that Girard has improved as they come along this year.
They sure have. I mean, tonight's probably the best game I've seen them play. That's one thing about it. Beverly certainly got us outnumbered over on the sidelines.
Yeah, there's more yellow shirts than there are blue ones, as that's a pass from Bennett to Buckley, and looks like they're going to give him about 4 yards on that play. It'll be 2nd and 6.
You know, what's fun about watching these middle school guys is because they go to the 9th grade year, then they move on up. You see them progress up through the ranks, and all of a sudden one day, boom, you got a heck of an athlete, and you didn't even know you had him.
Well, today it takes it to develop those skills when you get into the high school level, and of course moving on into college. And the more fundamentals you can get done early, the better off the player is in the future.
That's certainly right.
23 up the middle. That is Chris Carroll, and they got to give him about a yard on the play. 3rd and 5, as we're ticking down to the waning moments of the third quarter, under 20 seconds.
What's amazing to me is back when we all played high school football, you were big at 6'1", 240, 250. Now you're a small guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's McDonald's hamburgers or something. I don't know.
It probably is that. Or the pizzas.
Exactly.
Fake handoff to Bennett. He throws a pass complete to 83, but then he quickly drops it. And that's going to bring us up to the end of the third period of play. Things have turned around tremendously in this period. Been a great quarter for Girard, as they have put 16 points on the scoreboard. and they lead it by a score of 16-8 with the fourth quarter coming up.
Your number one source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.
Back to the fourth period of play, and it looks like number 12, Buckley, is going to do a keeper. He's going to cross the 45, the 45, the 40, all the way down to they're going to call it inside the 27. No yellow handkerchiefs on the ground, so it'll be 1st and 10 as the Wildcats move the chains. Philip, you've been doing some of the games with the Friday night crew on the radio.
Not all the games. I just go up and talk to Taylor.
Yeah, once in a while now. Okay.
I'm not a commentator.
You're not the commentator. You just kind of help Taylor out. You know he needs all the help he can get.
That moral support. Taylor's a fine fella.
Yeah, he is.
He loves that radio.
Pass is complete to number 14, and he gets it to the 20-yard line. That's going to be Adam White, as he picks up about, they're going to give him almost 9 yards on the play. Takes it to the 20-yard line, where it'll be 2nd and a long 2 for the first down. Clock moving at just over 7 minutes in the fourth and final period of play. Here's the snap. Bennett hands off to 23, crosses the 20, 15, and a host of blue jerseys with him. Down to the 12-yard line goes number 23, Chris Carroll. And he will move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line for the Wildcats.
That's another thing. Just recording all these games for these people to see on television. I wish they'd have had that when we were playing.
I know.
Of course, then I saw it about 4 times on Sunday and kept getting hammered for what I didn't do. But, this is good.
Well, we try to do all we can to help these young people today because, they need that support.
Yes, they do.
Bennett on a keeper, and he calls his own number. Let's see if he can get it in the end zone. Number 42 pushes him out of bounds at the 3-yard line, and that is Eric Major, who saves the 6 points. And it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 1, or less than 1, from the 3-yard line. 6 minutes, 33 seconds left. Wildcats are trailing by 8. All set for their 2nd down call here. It's 2nd and 3, or 2nd and about 1, but they're not going to need it. It's 23. Well, they didn't.
Close.
The ball did not cross the plane.
No, it did.
The helmet did, but the ball didn't. So it's going to be enough for a 1st down to move the chains. It'll be 1st and goal, and they're going to mark it just inside the 1. Well, they're going to mark it right on the goal line.
You reckon they put the Tebow jump shot in there that play? That was amazing.
This is going to be 3rd and a foot. A 1st and a foot for the touchdown. Bennett's a quarterback. Takes the snap, and he takes it into the end zone for 6 points. And that adds makes the total 16-14 with the 2-point conversion coming up for the Wildcats from Belverlye Middle School. Just called his own number, had to pick up a foot, and took it in quite handily. Was number 11, Colin Bennett. 6 points on the scoreboard, makes the score 16-14. So they're going to talk about it with this important 2-point conversion. There's still a lot of time on the clock. A lot can happen. But Belverlye Middle School just wants to make sure that they do get the conversion attempt. But Girard on the other side wants to be sure they don't get it. And will be able to hold on to that 2-point margin. All right. They've talked it over. And we're about set for this 2-point conversion. They got everybody kind of spread out. Bennett, the quarterback, he's going to give it to that first back. And it's no good, as the handoff was to Buckley, and Buckley was smothered at the hash mark and getting up slowly. is Mr. Do-It-All for Girard today, Clickley. And he got his bell rung, I believe.
Yeah, we got us a ball game now.
Yep, 2-point lead for Girard as they hold on, and the extra point attempt from the Wildcats is no good. So it's 16-14 with 6:02 left in the game. Back at Rip Hughes Stadium, 6 minutes 2 seconds remain in the contest, and we have ourselves a whale of a game here. It's 16-14 Wildcats. As Clickley let it roll between his legs. He picks it up at the 20 and moves it out to the 24-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Girard, and that could have been disaster had Clickley not collected his thoughts, got the ball, and picked it up and moved forward about 4 yards. Five minutes, 50 seconds remain. 1st and 10 for the Rebels of Girard Middle School. They just want to keep it on the ground, ground out some yardage, eat up some clock.
They get 2 good first downs here, using all 1st, 2nd, 3rd downs. I think they'll be in good shape.
Here's the snap. It's that lazy snap back. 22 keeps his own number, crosses the 30, gets to the 35, and there's one of those first downs. Picks up about 11 yards on that keeper.
Too quick.
Number 22, Taylor. So that'll move the chains. They'll set the chains, and that should start the clock back. As it goes back in motion, we're at 5:35 to go. Taylor. Shotgun formation once again. Here's the snap. Hand off to 24. Crosses the 35. Getting to the 40. To the 43-yard line. Goes number 24, Foshi, for Girard. Clock rolling. 5:10 to go in the game. Picks up about 7, maybe 8 yards on that play. And Girard will take that. 6, 7 yards on every play. Keep the clock rolling. Keep the drive alive. All right, we're going to have wideouts to the far side. Number 26 is not listed on the program, but number 10 is Clickley. And we're going to be called for motion as 24, Foshi wanted to get a head start on that one. He saw who he was going to block, and he was headed for him. Dead ball foul, illegal procedure. 5 yards to be marked off against Girard. Still remains 2nd down, but it'll be, instead of 2nd and a long 2, it's going to be 2nd and 7, which makes it a little bit more difficult, especially when you're trying to eat clock. Clickley, one of the wideout to the far side. In motion he comes. Here's the handoff. And ran into his own player, and Bennett comes in and tackles Taylor for another loss.
Big 3rd down coming up here.
Big 3rd down, 3rd and 11. Timeout is called for the Wildcats to decide what they want to do on this 3rd down call, and Girard will talk it over as well. It's 3rd and 11. 4 minutes, 11 seconds remaining. Girard trying to hold on with a 2-point lead. They try this play again. They ran it a while ago in a busted play. Number 10 trying to turn the corner. He does to the 40, but he runs out of real estate, goes out of bounds at the 42-yard line, and that will stop the clock, something Girard did not want to do, but brings up a 4th down and about, we're going to call it 4th and about 4 for the 1st down. So what does Girard do here? Do they punt? They keep it and try to pick up the 4 yards. I think they're going to punt it.
I'm glad I'm not the coach.
Awfully tempting.
Oh, yeah.
But number 81, Mullins, who has an interception tonight, he's back to punt. Here's the snap, and he gets it off. It's a good punt. It's going to be fielded at 32. Number 12, Buckley, trying to turn the corner, and he is not going to be able to do it as he is thrown out of bounds by number 46 at the 40-yard line, and that's going to be Brian Butler for Girard. 60 yards from pay dirt for the Wildcats, and 3 minutes, 46 seconds to work with the clock. So we'll see what the Wildcats can do with this. Their offense has shown some brilliance at times, especially with the combination of Bennett and Buckley passes, and then Buckley throwing the ball to number 81 Reynolds, which picked up about 55 yards on one play back in the early goings of the second quarter, set up the touchdown, the first touchdown for Belverlye Middle. So Bennett takes the snap, calls his own number, turns the corner to the 40, 45, gets to the 50, steps out of bounds at the 40. They got to mark it to the 45-yard line. Goes number 11, Bennett. And he moves the chains, stops the clock at 3:37. Smart play calling from Bennett as he saw quickly no receiver was open, tucked it in, picked up about 15 yards on the run. At the 45-yard line, 1st and 10. Comes the Wildcats. Hand off to 23. He's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage by number 46, Brian Butler. Going to give him maybe a yard.
That was a good tackle.
Yeah, he hit Butler, just arm strength, just pulled him to the ground.
It saved about 20 more yards.
All right, 2nd down, 9 yards to go for the 1st down. Clock is rolling, just over 3 minutes remaining. Hand off to 23 again. He's get some running room. It's going to be short of the 1st down, but only by maybe a yard, yard and a half. Goes 23. That is Chris Carroll. Philip, we'll just have to recruit you to do the color commentary for some of these games here.
I can do that.
Or we can let you do the play-by-play too.
No,
and I'll do the color commentary.
No, that's for y'all. That's y'all's job. No. I just fill in space.
All right, here we go with 3rd and 1.5. It's a delay, and listen.
Ooh.
And there's a ball. The ball's down, I believe. There's a scramble. And let's see. They're going to say Girard has it.
All right. Give number 11 extra effort trying to get it.
Yeah, Bennett was really giving that extra effort trying to get the 1st down. He had the 1st down, but lost the ball in the process of it. So Girard gets the ball back, 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line. And 2 minutes and 14 seconds to work, and they will be content to just kind of let that clock run. I don't foresee any tosses here.
No. We'll be up the middle, I hope, every time. Hold the ball.
Flag is going to be on the play. Delay of game is a call against Girard. So it's going to be 1st and 15. As they had Clinkley lining up at quarterback. That's going to move it back to the 28-yard line, 1st and 10. Looks like they're going to keep the same play as 26 and 22 flank to the near side. Here's the handoff to Clinkley. He's going to get it back to the line of scrimmage and maybe a yard, yard and a half to the 30. Clock rolling. We're at the 2-minute mark. Don't know how many timeouts are left, so we'll just have to see how things progress along.
That's why I thought Belverlye would be trying to kill the clock.
I want to say they took one or two. They may be trying to save it and see if they can stop them on a third down call. Back at quarterback is number 22, Taylor. Snap, handoff to 24, crosses the 30, churns his way to the 35 at the minute-and-a-half mark.
There's a timeout.
And a timeout is called.
You talk about commentators and who all we grew up with, the Keith Jackson. I mean, how many times have you heard, and I mean, I know back when I was at Alabama in school, let's go to New York to Tim Brando. How many times have you heard, I mean, it's like, is he just sitting there and never move? I mean, think about it.
Well, knowing Tim Brando, he probably been sitting there for 30 years.
Let's go to New York. Let's go to New York to see Tim Brando. Me and a friend of mine was talking about the other day. But I miss Keith Jackson doing East Coast ball. I mean, he used to do the Alabama-Auburn game. I mean, it don't matter what side you were in, and he'd come on, welcome to the Iron Bowl, and, throw out the record books. This is going to be a barn burner in Birmingham.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Legion Field. I mean, it's just that voice, kind of like Ray Dean. I mean,
well, I don't think Keith would appreciate it.
No, I'm talking about the dean that used to do the basketball string music.
String bean? His name was
Joe Dean.
Joe Dean.
Joe
Yeah,
Dean.
Joe Dean.
Joe Dean. That's correct.
All right, we got out of that one. With
Yeah, we did. That's my fault.
8 yards to go. Clickley gets the snap. He crosses the 35. Little daylight crosses the 40. And he's going to be knocked out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Stops the clock at a minute 17. But most importantly, picks up the first down and new life. They got to mark it at the 49. Minute 17. Well, they move it back to the 48 now. But it's a new set of downs for Girard. New possession. And just have to eat up this minute 17 seconds.
This may do it. I love that center snap.
Yeah, that center needs to work on his snap, but he's done it. I mean, he's been
Every
consistent
play. Yeah,
every
every
play.
play.
All right, under center this time. Goes number 22, takes a snap and a knee. And at the minute 14 mark, as apparently no timeouts left for the Wildcats. So Girard going to be content to try to run the clock out. Loses a yard on the play. As we go 55 seconds in the contest.
This has been a clean ball game. Not that many penalties. Both
Especially the
sides done
second
well.
half. It's
Yeah.
been, Taylor.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my goodness. Let's see what happens here as we get a flag.
Somebody got a little antsy.
Offside's going to be the call. Stops the clock at 34. So they'll step it off 5 yards. Gets it down to the 48-yard line. All Girard wants to do is, well, they're going to do an unsportsmanlike conduct flag now, and they're going to advance at 15 more. That's going to move it way on down the field.
That makes the coach happy.
Oh, don't you know it? Don't you know it? So Ellison will get a little talk from the coach as we have 29 seconds left. Here's going to be the snap to Taylor at the 33. 1st and 10. Taylor's waiting it. And with 5 seconds, they stop in the clock with 5.
What in the world happened?
It don't look like the ball ever moved. As the officials try to sort this one out. 5 seconds showing on the clock. I don't believe the ball ever got snapped. So the flag is going to be called offsides against the Wildcats once again. They'll mark off another 5.
Wasn't he in the shotgun?
He was in the shotgun. So it's going to be 1st and 5 from the 28. Shotgun formation is Taylor. Here's the snap, and he takes the knee. And that's going to wind up the ball game. And Girard's going to win this one by a score of 16-14. And what an interesting ending to the ball game. Girard trailed 8-0, but came back in the third quarter and put 16 unanswered points. And the Wildcats from Belverlye Middle came back and put 6 up, went for the 2-point conversion, unable to convert. And that brings our final score 16-14 tonight. Philip, what's your comments on the middle school ball for the season?
And 2 points at the end will kill you.
It will kill you.
No, it's a good program, and they're good sportsmanship. And then this is one of the best games I've watched all year. Gerard really stuck to the game plan and stuck to the guns and used their strong, and they went on down. And I'm not saying they're the best team here tonight, but it's hard to tell. You know, you get this age group, you don't know what's going to happen. Well, that's college football right now, but you don't know who's going to show up. But they do a great job.
Yeah.
Fun to watch.
You know, and it's great to see middle school football kind of getting revived because it died and went away. And that's why we've experienced the problems in the 6A level with Northview and Dothan High, because they haven't been the fundamentals that has not been ground into these players. So, you know, the hats off to these middle school coaches for the job they've done.
And the people forget how, well, you remember the young junior and the Girard, the old, back when it was a junior high school. Yeah,
Coach Jenkins, I remember him quite well.
And those rivalries with Young and Girard, and how them players went on up to Dothan High, and you see all the athletes that come out of there, and we still got a lot of good athletes, but it's not that nucleus of, they all come up through the school together.
They tried to get Coach Benjamin a while ago. And, but I believe they finally got up with him.
That's exactly right. I'm glad it's him and not me.
I'm telling you, with the Gatorade and all that, oh my goodness.
Gentlemen, I have enjoyed it.
Yes, sir. It's always good to see you.
And the Mad Magician cameraman over here.
Yeah.
And
well, Philip, anytime. Our microphone's always open to you.
Thank you very much.
We'll keep following you down at City Hall, and y'all keep up a good job.
That's right. Just give me a holler. Thank you.
All right. We're going to say good night here from Rippview Stadium, where the final score, Girard Middle School wins it by a score of 16-14 over Belverlye Middle School. So from Mick Kirkland, this is Bobby Price saying good night from Rippview Stadium.
Your #1 source for high school sports. You're watching the Scenic Sports Network.